Do you know how to define self-empowerment or what it looks like? More importantly, do you know how you can become self-empowered? If you've ever felt like you were being dominated by someone else or overwhelmed by demands, then there's a good chance you aren't particularly self-empowered. That feeling of powerlessness is frustrating, and whatever challenges you may face, you are only ever one decision away from taking control of your life. Understanding that gets to the root of self-empowerment. The basis of self-empowerment is taking control of your life and making positive decisions that further your efforts to achieve what you want. Self-empowerment is closely linked to self-confidence and self-esteem. That doesn't mean you have to go it alone. You can build a strong support team to encourage and guide you when needed. Self-empowerment can feel different based on different personalities and circumstances. For instance, Jennifer and Jess work in the same office as sales reps. They have both been in their positions for several years. In that time, neither has applied for a promotion, though they both have the knowledge, skills, and numbers to climb the ladder. Are Jen and Jess empowered? Jen is empowered because she loves her job exactly as it is. She has been invited to apply for a senior role, and she made a conscious choice to pass on it because she is happy where she is. She wasn't really interested in adding extra responsibility and stress to her job, but she knows if her circumstances change, she can raise it again. Jen, on the other hand, is endlessly frustrated. She wants the additional responsibility because she's looking for more job satisfaction, a bump in her income, and meaning. She's convinced that she would be turned down if she applied for the latest promotion posting. She feels powerless to change her situation, so she simply doesn't bother, just is trapped in a vicious circle. She has a lack of opportunity because she isn't self-empowered, and she will never find self-empowerment because she lacks the motivation to chase it. Before women can truly find self-empowerment, they need to define who they are. One of the biggest drivers of self-empowerment is a deep understanding of who you are and what you want out of life. On the pathway to self-empowerment, though, women experience a lot of setbacks and challenges. Historically, women have experienced disenfranchisement, discrimination, and more, making it difficult for them to experience empowerment in the world as independent beings. Women's empowerment means different things to different people. However, a part of that empowerment is based on the belief that women are entitled to the same rights and opportunities as men. This is because they remain a marginalized population in many world regions. Women do not have the same opportunities in terms of education, salary, or other advantages as males. Though society has made some strides to create a more equal world for women and men, there are still many challenges women face that make it difficult for them to experience self-empowerment. Challenge number 1. Women aren't always well represented in places where major decisions are being made. According to the World Economic Forum, as of March 2022, roughly 15% of America's largest public businesses were female-led. While the WEF reports the statistic as a new all-time high, the fact that a mere 15% of these major companies have female leadership is reflective of women's inclusion and involvement in places where large-scale decision-making and leadership is happening. More often than not, women aren't well represented in places where major decisions are made. Challenge number 2. Women are often saddled with a variety of responsibilities and expectations that can be difficult to balance. We live in a society where women are experiencing things their grandmothers and great-grandmothers likely would have never imagined possible for them. They are entering career fields historically dominated by men, earning many certifications and college degrees and more. However, even as women are breaking through these barriers and making great strides, they are often saddled with more traditional expectations and responsibilities. For example, working mothers must find a balance between being a go-getter in the workplace while still making plenty of time to be an attentive and present parent. Finding ways to balance all the expectations placed on women can be challenging for them. It's tough for women to experience self-empowerment when they're being pulled in many different directions. Challenge number 3. Some women experience discrimination and or disenfranchisement on multiple levels, including racism or poor socioeconomic status. Some women experience discrimination and disenfranchisement on multiple levels. Being female is the tip of the iceberg for some women. For women also experiencing racism and lower socioeconomic status, for example, the discrimination and the lack of opportunity can feel even more challenging to navigate. Having multiple factors working against them can make it extremely difficult to feel self-empowered. Challenge number 4. Women face stereotyping and societal expectations that can make chasing after their goals and dreams difficult. Traditionally, women are viewed as nurturers and caregivers. Many people still see women as loving mothers and homemakers who want to keep their families organized and in good shape. While this is certainly not a bad goal for the women who want it, this kind of stereotype can make it difficult for them to chase after independent goals and dreams. These stereotypes often tie women's interests directly to the needs of others. When a woman envisions herself going after something else she wants in life, other people may not understand why she wants that for herself instead of something seen as more socially acceptable, such as having children. This can make it very difficult for some women to feel self-empowered. Challenge number 5. Women aren't always given a choice in their own healthcare decisions. For example, Wade versus Roe. We're not going to go into that right now, but yeah. See, in a society where lawmakers try to pass laws dictating what women can and cannot do with their own bodies, it isn't unusual for women to have a difficult time voicing their concerns and making their own healthcare decisions. For example, women are more susceptible to death by heart attacks compared to men. This is because the symptoms for women aren't always the same as they are for men. Because some of the symptoms are less obvious, their doctors don't always pick up on their complaints in time to solve the problem. Challenge number 6. Women experience the effects of the gender pay gap. Believe it or not, that is still happening. According to a study completed by PayScale, in their 2022 Gender Pay Gap report, women currently earn an average of 82 cents for every dollar men earn. While the pay gap has started to close over the years, it's still not at a perfect and equal dollar-to-dollar comparison yet. This is caused by a variety of reasons, such as some fields being dominated by women versus men, issues from the pandemic, and more. Challenge number 7. Women lack adequate support. A lack of a proper support system could cause struggles or failure. Women suffer the most difficulties in obtaining assistance, whether it is due to a lack of suitable connections, a need for financial assistance, or emotional support. Societal stereotypes can interfere with a woman being supported to be driven, ambitious, and successful as a man might be. They'll need mentors and sponsors to help them get started on their new road. The support structure is frequently too expensive, causing women to postpone beginning. And challenge number 8, the bitch syndrome. Some people have the idea that if a woman is strong, tough, opinionated, passionate in her career, ambitious, or outspoken, then she's a bitch. Funny that men who can be described in the same way are touted as successful go-getters. In this case, I think it's best to adopt Madonna's motto. I'm tough, ambitious, and I know exactly what I want. If that makes me a bitch, okay. Female empowerment can be achieved in various ways, one of which is by giving them the needed tools. An empowered lady exudes confidence, since she is no longer under someone's control. She is the one who will determine the course of her life. When you feel a distinct lack of power in your life, it can have a knock-on effect of your self-esteem and confidence levels. But in developing your self-awareness, you can understand why it feels that way, and you can address your actions and emotions. Establish your sphere of control, the extent you believe you control your destiny, and understand that a growth mindset will help you develop both. Take a look at your strengths, define your weaknesses, and don't be afraid to do something to address both. You can build on your strengths, improve your weaknesses, and know yourself as much as you can. In doing so, you'll have an easier time identifying your goals. And then once you know yourself, you will know more about what you want. You can also look at developing your weaknesses and strengths to help achieve your goals. The best way to measure your self-empowerment success is to look at how much of an impact it has had on your life. If you're closer to your goals or you have succeeded in achieving a goal, then it's a clear sign that you have empowered yourself. If you haven't succeeded yet, or you don't feel as though things have moved forward, then you still have a little work to do on the self-empowerment front. Ultimately, it's a journey, and you will get there. Just be kind and patient with yourself. And on that note, I am complete.